How's it going? How's it going? It's a nice. Forget to look at my thermometer, my car, but it feels nice. A little on the humid side, but I'll take it. I'll take it. But unlike the nice weather I'm seeing here, we have another train carrying toxic fumes that didn't make its destination. Probably should have worded the title differently, but as always, we're going to ground.news. Explosion at Union Pacific Rail Yard in Nebraska prompts evacuations because of heavy toxic smoke. An explosion occurred inside the intermodal container of Union Pacific Bailey Yard. No one was injured and no cars derailed. One of the containers involved was carrying perchloric acid. The rail yard covers 2,850 acres and excuse me, stretches as wide as 8 miles at one point. This is actually terrible. Really is. Really is terrible. We're going to see how Biden reacts to this because he's not having a very good track record. You got East Palestine, you got Hawaii, you got a few other places, you got the border. Doesn't have a very good track record of making things better. So we'll see how he reacts to this in the days to come. According to the Daily Mail, train car carrying toxic perchloric acid explodes in Nebraska rail yard. Evacuation orders issued for 4 miles. So I say you should probably go for 50 miles, 40 miles radius as a huge plume of smoke fills the sky above North Platte. Train carrying toxic. Okay, we already know that one. Prompting evacuation orders to be issued as huge fumes can be seen engulfing the city. The incident happened on Union Pacific Railroad tracks in the city of North Platte earlier today. North Platte Volunteer Fire Department announced that it would order those living in the area to evacuate due to the toxic smoke from the railroad. Hopefully they get better treatment than East Palestine. In a post, social media says emergency evacuation for the area between the splinter of front north of the railroad track due to a fire at the railroad involving heavy toxic smokes. Explosions at the Union Pacific Railroad Bailey Yards, probably 12:10 p.m. So just afternoon. See here. Just making sure this wasn't like an incredibly long article. Let's see here. I mean, in a later update, they announced that they will be asking more homes to prepare for to evacuate. They say houses between the homestead and front be prepared to evacuate in the next 1 or 2 hours due to wind and weather changing. Pictures shared online by the crew shows a thick fume of white smoke moving across farmland. That farmland is probably destroyed now. Um, Maybe biochar and a lot of biochar, a lot of inoculation can save some of that land, but some of this stuff stays in the ground for a really long time. And if it hits the water source, it's pretty much game over. An emergency SMS notification went out to all civilians in the local area warning of the evacuation of residents and road closures, according to last news. The majority of the evacuation zone so far to be mostly farmland and has missed the rest of North Plate. That's not a good thing. Mostly farmland. That is not a good thing. Food. Dude, seriously? How do I get rid of you? There we go. The last update from the emergency management in Nebraska said that the incident was now contained, which will be monitoring In a statement to the DailyMail.com, Union Pacific Railroad said that an explosion occurred inside the container, which resulted in several rail cars catching fire. The rail car did not derail, the company said, and had been in the yard for several hours. I mean, I guess the good news is it was that. I mean, I don't know if it's good, but at least it wasn't moving. So I guess there's that. Let's see. The Rail Union Pacific said that one of the containers contained a hazardous chemical called perchloric acid. Blackbird isn't perchloric. Is a hazardous material used in food, drugs, and biosynthetical products as well as explosives. Why is this crap in food? Why are we using a hazardous material in food? No, seriously. If this thing is so hazardous, why is it being used in food? How is it being used in food is, I guess, a better question. Is it there to make American cheese? Because that crap is plastic. According to the company, there was no personal injury at the initial explosion, which was good. In a statement, Nebraska State Patrol said the emergency crews were on scene of a rail car fire between North Platte and Hershey. Anyone located between the Front Road and Splinter Road from the Highway 30 to 1 mile north is asked to evacuate the area. Highway 30 is closed in the area at this time. 180 is not affected. Local man Greg Robertson told North Platte Telegraph he saw something and looked. It was just a big ball of flame. Hopefully, you ran. And then it was just fire, 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 constant for 10, 12 minutes maybe. And then the fire went down and the smoke kind of increased. And then it just sparks coming out. According to Robertson, he saw two smoke plumes rise from the blast site, and the east plume was like a black smoke. The west plume was orange smoke, something like I've not seen from a fire because that's chemicals being burnt. The Railroad Administration, FRA, in the statement said FRA is on site monitoring the Union Pacific response incident at Bailey Yard in North Platte, Nebraska, where the emergency responders and local authorities are on the scene containing a fire. There's something that was burning, and we don't want no part of smelling what it was because some kind of chemical was over there. Charlie Moreland also told outlets the explosion shook the ground. You could feel it shake in the vehicles and stuff. I knew it was a pretty violent explosion, according to Harvard University Safety Guide. Perchloric acid is an incredible strong acid in high concentration and can be explosive. The acid is also said to be a strong oxidizer, and it may cause fire to intensify when in contact with combustible material. The guide also warns prolonged or repeat exposure can damage the thyroid and is harmful if swallowed. So why is it in food? No, seriously, why is this crap in food? Perchloric acid is also corrosive to metals, and severely corrode the skin, eyes. The guide also asked if inhaled, people should immediately move to fresh air or call 911. Comes after the cargo train derailed earlier this year in Ohio, causing 50 cars to spill hazardous chemicals and cause a huge fire, which forced the evacuations of 2,000 people. The incident happened near Ohio-Pennsylvania border by the village of East Palestine, which also is a terrible thing. Tens of cars that derailed hazardous material, including 5 with vinyl chloride. Firefighters wore hazsuits as they tackled the blaze around. So you're talking about East Palestine here. I don't really like how stories go. Start off with the main story just to link it to another story. I don't exactly care for that, but I think East Palestine is still feeling the effects to it, and it's going to feel the effect for it for quite a while, which is sad. I mean, it's terrible. And hopefully Biden responds a lot better than he did with East Palestine. Hopefully Pete Buttigieg responds a lot better than he did in East Palestine. Hopefully the lessons they learned in East Palestine gets applied to this one right here. But Only time will tell. I'm pretty sure next week I'll be having a follow up story on this, seeing how a POS Joe Biden is and his gay transportory or secretary of transportation is, because they're all pieces of shit, to be honest. With that being said, that is my video for today. Leave a comment down below what your thoughts are, but most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.